And I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Please jump on, say hello, let us know where you're from. It's always great to say hello to new people, so please be sure to jump on. Now, excuse me, tonight is going to be my last live for this year. I've got a huge amount of work to do. I've got a quilt to finish off for my son, and I have got a lot of cooking to get done before Christmas, as well as finishing off my shopping. But the other thing I've got to get done is make some cards. Who hasn't made all their cards or posted out their cards this year? Me. I have been very slack, and I've got 2 sitting out on my sideboard ready to go, but I need to create some cards because most of the cards that I have already created I've given away. So we're going to have a bit of a card making night. Hello, Anne, how are you? I'm from Canberra. It's lovely to have you. I like Canberra. It's not far from here because I live in the Southern Highlands, which is about halfway between Sydney and Canberra, roughly. So thank you for joining us. Okay, so let's get started. So let me flip my camera down. Okay, so let me bring this view up. Okay then, so what have I already done? I have grabbed a whole stack of pre-cut card bases, and I've just pulled out some colours in real red, garden green, granny apple green, night of navy, pretty peacock, and misty moonlight. So I don't know whether I'm going to be using all of these tonight because these are going to be lovely, quick and simple cards to make. So because generally I usually only make 1 card. So we're going to see how many cards I can get made. I already pre-cut my card fronts, and I've embossed them with this particular, I hope you can see that, embossing folder. And now that is out of the Basics 3D embossing folders, which is a set of 3 folders that are available. And I really love these because they really are my go-to. The other designs, whoops, that's the wrong one. It's usually sitting right here in the front, but I must have popped it up somewhere else here at the moment. But there's 2 other designs that come in with these 2. They're usually just sitting right here, and for some reason they're not sitting where they usually are, because that means I've pulled them out. Here they are. Pulled them out and I've popped them over here. So these are the other designs that come in it. So you've got the hash one, which is probably my favourite, which I use quite a bit, and the spot one. So this one here, because I thought it just had a little bit of a star type imprint on it, I would use that. So I have just embossed about half a dozen card fronts. Now, just to give you the main measurements that I'm using, these are just my basic measurements. Hold on one second. Let me just bring this up. So these are just my basic card measurements. For a standard card, they're a 10-fold card, and it's just the card base, the card front, and the insert. Now, I've just realised there's a bit of a mistake on there. That card front should be the same as that insert measurement. I'm terribly sorry for that. I'll correct that for next time. This is the measurements that I generally use all the time. Okay, except I will use a card mat. So disregard these 2 measurements here. The card front for these cards are the same as the insert measurements. So I'm terribly sorry for that. So let's just remove that for the moment. So we've got our card bases. I've got some card fronts, which are my 10 by 14.5. And I've got some pieces to go on the inside of my card, also at 10 by 14.5. And now we're just going to do some decorating. So because I want these to be really quick and simple cards to make. Hello, Glenda, how are you? I pulled out I'm going to show you this from the catalogue. I've pulled out my ephemera packs. Now, I was having a little bit of a look a little while ago with these packs on because they're in the last chance, so which means they are going. And the Joyful Images, which is this one here, has already sold out, so this one is no longer available. But the Joyful Sayings and the Tags for Season and the Gold Dip Mix and Match cards are still there as of this afternoon. So, and they have been all discounted to $15.07 for each one. So jump on there quick if you're still wanting those for this Christmas. So I've got a whole stack of this because I bought up quite a bit of this beforehand. I'm not going to be using my card bases, just for the fact that I've already pre-cut all this other stuff. But I do have those as well to make more cards as well. But for the time being, I'm using all of these three. But I've also have pulled out the, let me bring this over, this one as well. Now, I won't be using designer series paper because I do have other things that I want to do with it, but I will be using some of the wreath elements in this particular set. And this is a little bit festive, and this is $17.50, so it hasn't gone down in price, but it's still in the last chance. Hello, Joan, how are you? So if you're wanting still to get one of these, please jump on and get them quick. So they're the products we're going to be using tonight. I've also pulled out my red and white twine because I thought we might do some bows on some of these, especially when I'm going to be using a tag. As you can see, I've got a bit of sponge here, and I've got my silicone mat because I'm going to be, this I haven't used on anything. So tonight I thought, no, we're going to use these. I've got to get them all used up. There's no good buying these things if I don't use them. So we're going to be using some of those as well. So let's get started and let's see how many cards that I can make tonight. Now, I already have a couple of ideas that I've been playing around with. So let me bring in my first idea. Okay, so I've got this one here. So I've pulled out this lovely wreath here. Now with these, this is from the A Little Bit Festive. This is so simple. The work's already done for you. They've already got this lovely wreath. They've got a bow on it. All I've done is emboss to this because I'm going to be using my sentiment from the ephemera packs. I don't even need to do some stamping. So what I'm going to do first off is I want to adhere this onto my wreath. Now, it is very fine, and I saw a video by Patty Bennett the other day on how she's seen someone else adhere things like this that are very fine to their work, and it was a fantastic idea, and that was with using a pastry brush, and you cut off the top of it. Unfortunately, when I went looking for pastry brushes the other day, I couldn't get any. So that's why I have got my sponge and I have got my silicone mat. So let's start off by doing this. All I want to do is pop some glue onto this side of my sentiment and on these pieces here, because I'm just going to glue it right across, and then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals and put it onto our card front. So let's get that done. So I'll use this one here, which is slowly running out. I'll pop a little bit of glue there on our mat. And I'm going to pop this upside down. Now tell me, I hope I have solved the issue of my screen being back to front. So if it looks okay, please tell me so I know that we've got it sorted. Because that I was trying over the weekend and doing lots of little practices to see if I can get that right or not. So I'm hoping that we have. So all I've done is just added some glue with my sponge on either side. Now, of course, once the the sponge is dried, I wouldn't be able to use it for anything much else rather than throw away. It's something we used to sell quite a while ago with Stamping Up, but we don't have them. And I just thought, oh, I'll just bring them out and let's just use it. Okay, so there we go. So all I've done is put a little bit of glue on there, and that is stuck on that beautifully. Screen is great on YouTube. Thank you very much, Anne. It's what I wanted to hear. That's made my day. I think I was sending myself crazy the other day trying to work it out. You've tried the pastry brush trick and it works well. Yeah, I thought it would, but you know what? I went to Kmart in Goulburn and they didn't have any. I thought, oh, Stamping Up people have already been there and they've bought them out because there was not one pastry brush to be found. But I also want to find some smallish ones. I don't want to buy big, huge ones because, you know, you don't want too much on your craft desk filling it all up. Now I'm just cutting up some of these pieces here so I can use all these little scrappy bits of dimensionals, and we're just going to pop some dimensionals. Actually, before I can put the dimensionals on there now. I was going to say I want to glue this onto my card base first, but I can just pop some dimensionals on here and we can just leave that without taking the backs off, and I can take them off in a moment. So just using up all these little scrappy bits. Oh, I was so pleased that we've sorted out the cheap shop. Yeah, but I've looked at I haven't been to the reject shop, but I actually looked at the reject shop online and they didn't have them. So I'm going to have to, and that's the only cheap shop I've got here in Mossvale. So that's going to go onto there, and I think I definitely like the red base for that one. I think the red just brings that out a bit. So let's adhere this down. Now I'm going to open up my new bottle of glue here for this. Because I was hoping to actually buy one for each of the girls that attend my classes, my in-house classes, and give them one each for Christmas presents. But since I couldn't find them, that isn't going to be happening. But it might be a New Year present if I can find them sometime after Christmas. I think when I went to Kmart, because Kmart was supposed to carry them in Goulburn, I noticed that there was a lot of stock I don't think was on the shelves because they had all their Christmas stock out. So probably after Christmas, a lot of that stock. No, I'm really naughty, Joan. My husband goes and does my shopping for me, just for the fact that I've always got very sore feet and I just don't get to the supermarket and that very often. And the other day when I went, I didn't actually even go into Big W, but I will be going. I did go and have a look online, and online they say that they don't sell them. So we'll keep looking because I think it's a fantastic idea. Okay, so I've got my season's greetings on a bit of an angle, and I'm happy with the way that's going to look. So let's remove the backs. But I think that was a fantastic idea of using the pastry brushes. And mind you, I've got a pastry brush in my drawer that I use when I'm cooking, but I'm not going to go and get it and cut it up. Some things are a little bit more sacred. And I'd want one just for my craft room. Okay, let's just get that on nice and square. And just a very simple card. Don't need much on that one at all. Let's grab an insert. And I'm just wondering, do we have... Here's all the bits and pieces. Look, I've got a bow right there. But I don't know whether I want all those tails on there. So I'm going to butcher my bow a little bit. And I'm just going to cut off that bit. I'm wondering whether I can, I think I can. Just going to rejoin it, but overlap it a bit. So I'm going to stick a little bit of glue on that because I just want this just to decorate the inside of the card a little bit, just to make it look a little bit festive. And I do actually even have here somewhere, and I've got some real red ink here. Oops, that's a little bit too much. Let's just take a bit of that off. We don't want too much glue on there. And all I'm going to do now is just trim that part down and take that little bit off there. There's a bow with much shorter tails, but I just had a little bit of an idea. I knew I had this stamp set sitting here. Let's add a sentiment inside. It's the most wonderful time of the year. May your holiday be filled with warmth and or season's greetings. Maybe just season's greetings. We just want to keep this really, really simple and really quick. So there we go. I've already used it. So how is everybody going with their card making anyway? I know I got a beautiful card off Glenda the other day, which was lovely to get. So who else is a bit like me and is running behind? Pop that just there. And then this can go on the inside. Whoops. We also still need to pop that, and that can go right underneath. So this is a great way to use up all those little bits and pieces, because next year Stampin' Up! Will have something else that is fantastic. Need to post yours off tomorrow. Well, I've got some stamps sitting here ready to go. Mind you, they're old stamps, but they're still the right cost. So all I have to do is make these and then address them, and they're ready to go. Okay, so there's one card down. Let's do another one. Okay, so let's grab another base. Now this one I'm going to use the ephemera pack, and I made in a class this particular tag, okay, about a month or two ago. So I thought, I've still got all of this. I've still got most of this stuff, but not all of it. I'm going to make another tag, but this time it's going to go onto my card base. So let's grab that and grab our tag. And the first thing I'm going to do is add some dimensionals to my tag. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I like to put my dimensionals in towards the middle, just so then I can add other pieces around it. And I really feel that you needed to add this here first. So I'm going to pop this, and I want to pop it probably around about there in the middle and stick this down. Now this layout is actually from the catalogue. Let me pull out this because it has some really great ideas on these 2 pages of layouts, and they're doing this in all our catalogues now, which I think is fantastic. And this is where I picked up this idea from. Okay, but I don't have the pine cones anymore. I've used them on other things, so I've pulled out some other bits and pieces, and I've only got 1 pine cone. And I thought, well, let's just have a little bit of a play and see what we come up with. Might not even add those pine cones, but let's just keep going. You know what, actually, I wouldn't mind adding, and I've got sitting here some of our very vanilla gingham. Now, I'm just going to cut a piece here, which is about that's 16 centimetres, and I just want to cut that in 2. Probably could have put this down if I had thought of it before that went down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my glue dots. I'm going to fold that in half. Grab my take a pick tool. And I just want to grab pop a glue dot on there. Whoops. And fold that in half. I'm going to do that with both of them. So just making like a little loop. The other way you can do this is by just popping that straight onto your glue dots and then folding it over like that. Now I need another glue dot on the end there. And I'm going to add, I probably will need this to help me push that in. I'm going to pop one there. Pop that into there. Give it a good push up into there. Whoops, we want that not quite that much of an angle. Sometimes you can get a little bit of a folded look from there. So it looks like now it's coming straight across like that. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to take this. Now I've already put glue on this piece, and I'm going to stick that there. So what I like to do is if I've got one there, I like to work very symmetrically. I even do the same when I'm taking photos of very symmetrical in a lot of things like that. So if I do one onto one to keep the balance, I'll do it. So I've got that in the middle, those 2 opposite each other, these 2 opposite each other. And then I just build up on that by adding a few more bits and pieces. So I didn't have the pine branches that they used in the original one, so I've just found these. I'm going to pop that into there coming from behind that ribbon, and I'm going to do the same down here. This time I might sit that up on top of that ribbon a little bit. I've just got one little pine cone here, and I might just tuck him right underneath there. Don't want him getting too lost. Just like that. So I'm going to remove that because I need that for my Christmas gifts. So there's our piece there. So I'm going to grab my embossed card front. And we're going to work out what colour base that's going to look good on. So you've got, I think I'll use the green on that one. You could also have used the red. That looks quite good as well. And the other colour I think would look quite good with this one because it's got a little bit of that colour in there. Is that actually, I think I like the Misty Moonlight. Now I was thinking of popping that red bow onto that, but I don't know now because I've got the black on there. The other colour I've got, now unfortunately this is not Stampin' Up Baker's Twine. I had to grab some from elsewhere because I needed some ASAP for something else. And it's a very thick Baker's Twine, so I'm going to just use it singly rather than a double. I'm just going to cut those tails off there. I think that'll look good because it's not interfering. It's not, what's the word? It's not fighting and adding more red against the black. Okay, so let's adhere all this together. Hello, Nicole. How are you? We're just making quick and easy cards tonight because I need some Christmas cards to send out to people. And I thought, and we also have to use up all these beautiful ephemera packs and so forth that we've got this year, the Christmas bits and pieces. What better way to use it up by actually getting in and making some of these things. Okay, so I've got that on there. Let's pop this up on dimensionals. Now, it's been pretty hot here today. What's it been like everywhere else where everyone is? Luckily, my husband very nicely bought me on the weekend a fan that we can use, well, that I can use in my craft room. And because my craft room is right off where my dining room table sits, we can easily move it into the family room and use it near the dining room table too. Unfortunately, this house does not come with air conditioning, so it's made it very, very hot house in summer. So I'm just going to add a glue dot onto that. Just need to push those bits in a little bit, and then now there is circle in there, and I'm just going to remove that. And I'm going to pop that right into where that circle was. So there's that one. Now we need to, very hot where you are, Joan. Yeah, it's been just terrible weather. Though it's sort of like tomorrow is going to be really cool. Tomorrow is supposed to be 10 degrees cooler than what we've had today. So that'll make it pleasant because I have some cooking to do. I've made all this fruit mince the other day, so I now want to make it into some fruit mince pies. Now, this piece here is off a frame, so I've cut away a couple of pieces, but I've cut away a piece here and here But I just wanted to add a little bit of interest to this. And I was playing around with this earlier, and I think it's a similar leaf to what I've got on the front, so I think I'm going to get away with it. And I'm just going to pop it onto that corner just to add that little bit of interest. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border around it. Because these are much smaller, so if I get one of these other ones that I've got here, lying here, you can see it's, I turn that over, it's a lot smaller. It's more to the American sizing. So I just worked out quite well that you could cut it. And actually, even with the other card we did, I probably could have cut this and done the same thing, popped it into the corner. So there's a point if you're making a card similar to the one we've done before. Now, I do want to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to use exactly the same sentiment because I want these to be quick and simple cards. But this time I'm going to stamp my sentiment just down here in the corner, just to give it a little bit of difference. Well, you got rain last week. Yeah, we haven't had any rain here for a week or two now. Thought we might have got some this afternoon because it came up. My husband said it came over quite dark, but the sky's like it's going on to night time, but the sky has gone grey and it looks like it's a little bit, might be a bit more cloudy, so maybe we will get a bit of rain tonight. But as long as it doesn't rain at Christmas. Quite a few years ago, my niece is now 20, she must be about 27. When she was about 3 years old, my sister and brother-in-law came and spent Christmas with us. And it rained, it was cold, and it rained the whole time. And usually we don't have Christmases under 30 degrees. So it was actually quite different. Okay, so yeah, it was very, very cold. They went home. They didn't stay. I think Boxing Day they were out of here. So now we're down 2 cards. So there's 2 cards. So let's keep going, see what else we can come up with. Let's grab another embossed piece here. And let's have a look and see what else we've got. Oops, I just dropped something on the floor. It's okay, I'll pick that up later. Now, I did have a little bit of an idea before, and I wanted to use that, and I wanted to use, because my whole idea is get rid of some of these wreaths. I just have got, because I bought 2 kits of the Little Bit Festive, and I don't know how many kits I've bought of the ephemera packs, but I just want to, use up some of this. So the idea I had earlier was to use these and to bring in this piece left over from the ephemera pack, or the, not ephemera pack, this is from the Little Bit Festive. So I was thinking of adding that on there and this on here. But I want to cut this down a little bit. So let me just grab my trimmer. And then, so if I cut that down, so we've got that piece maybe with about 1 centimetre there. And then that wreath may go on there. We might put something else on there yet, but I did like the look of that. Okay. So I want to cut off this piece here. This is 10 centimetres. So I'm going to cut it down to about 8.8. I think I'm taking off there on that, because then that piece, I want this piece going right to the edge, but I want a border around those 2, and that's going to look good. So this piece here I need to cut down, and instead of bringing in my other trimmer, I'm just going to lay that on there. Pop that underneath. Now I want to hold that there and take this piece out. So that should be about right there. We'll make it work. Make sure I've got this opening up on the right side. Yep. So we want that piece right along the edge. And then this piece we're going to now, of course, we don't need to use the wreath. I can keep that wreath for something else. We've got lots of other little bits and pieces in our ephemera pack. So let's have a look and see what else we've got. So we've got this piece. I've got that's from a little bit festive, and then this is from the ephemera pack. So let's have a look what we've got in here. This is all my. So you want something that's got that little bit of red and white. Let's start off with our sentiment, maybe. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. We've got May All Your Days Be Merry and Bright. That's in Cherry Cobbler. And this is all real red. Christmas Wishes, we could use that. Let's see what else we've got here. Holly Jolly. Now, of course, all these two can be used for scrapbooking as well. Don't mind that. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Just having a look. There's a big stocking there. That would look good with that. What else have we got in here? Got a lot of these little bits and pieces. Let's have a look, see what we've got in here. These are all the bits that I've got left over that I haven't used. So we've got those pieces there. Whoops, can't pick it up. That piece. Some snowflakes. Christmas decorations. Don't tend to use these ones because we don't have snow here. It seems to be a bit silly to have a hot chocolate when we're so hot. We're wanting iced coffee instead and cold drinks, nice cold beer or so. Okay, let's have a look. What else do we have? Put that over there for the moment. Let's see what else we've got in here. I think I might have to mix these ephemera packs up in a minute. It's basically the same stuff as in both of them, except for in the a little bit festive, they're a lot bigger. So Don't want that one. That's a little bit too big. Let's see what we've got here. Do we use Holly Jolly? We don't even need to use Holly Jolly. What else have we got? So has everybody got their Christmas shopping done? Bought all their Christmas presents? I've still got a couple of presents to buy. I haven't wrapped up a thing. Don't want to be fiddling around too much because I want this to be fun and quick. Or we could take, no, because it's got none of that green. That's okay. I think we might. Actually, that wouldn't look too bad. Cut this in half. Find my scissors, which are here on the table somewhere. There they are. Didn't cut it real straight, but that's okay. I was thinking popping that there. Don't know whether I did the right thing by cutting that. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Actually, that looks good. We'll use those. I like that. That looks a lot better. And we can still add that looks good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this one up on some dimensionals. So we've got those here somewhere because I used up all the other ones. So let's pop some dimensionals on this. Excuse me. I want to pop that into there, I think. Now I had some of these little bits and pieces. I think they might be fighting it too much by adding that. I think by the time I add this onto there, that is probably going to be all that's needed. Because really we want it just to have some sort of elegance to it without it being... But I'm going to pop a dimensional there because this is already up on dimensionals, and I'm going to pop a little bit of glue there. Excuse me. So, because we don't need to put dimensionals on both sides. So there's another card. Let's grab this one. Now, let's see. Oh, golly, don't know what's happened to my voice just then. We do actually have, like, the lights. We've got this one here with lights. Always just add a little bit of lights on the bottom of it. Or we could add, actually, we could even do that. There is actually one of those which is 3 cookies. Now, which pile have we got that in? Also got, because they're not the right colours. Okay, let's just have a look in my ephemera box over here. See if I can find, there they are, 3 cookies. Excuse me. And I'm just going to pop those there. Now there is. Now I've got a little packet somewhere here. Here we go. Which has got little gingerbread house and little little gingerbread tree and a little gingerbread man. I think that might be making it a bit too much. I think that's enough. I didn't like the look of that just sitting on there. Though I like these. If I had, I probably could have put them on there rather than that one. Actually, what I can do is I'm going to pop that over there because I do actually like these. And I'm going to pop these because they're more in fitting with this, I think. And I'll just make another card and use that. I'm just going to turn that and put this one down first. And that just sitting out the top. Because, hey, we've got a gingerbread house and some gingerbread men. Let's add our sentiment again. Move that out of the road. You know what? It is raining. I can just hear it. Thought the sky looked a little bit too grey. So who's staying home for Christmas with family coming to you, and who's heading away for a Christmas break? Oh, look what I've done. I've just popped a ink right in the middle there. Okay, we're going to add a few bits, add some more bits and pieces to this, see if we can stretch this over and a little bit too much glue on that. Think about having a new packet of glue. It then just oozes out. That tree just, there we go, that looks better. I don't know whether I've got another little, just wondering if I've got another little circle or something. Pop there. Just has to be something little. Just to balance that out a little bit more. No, can't find anything. That's okay. Because otherwise I've got that big one. Okay, I think that's hidden that. Anyway, so there's another card. One more, I think, and then that might be it for me tonight. Let's have a look. We've got another card base. Okay, then. Now, what colour haven't we used? Let's have a look. We've got Granny Apple Green. I'm not going to glue anything on yet, just in case we change things, or Night of Navy. But what did I see in here now? We've got that. That's got a little bit of Granny Apple Green in it. And then in here I saw, did I see a teddy bear in here? Yes. Teddy bear. Again, we could add one of those. Now, I wonder if I've got any Christmas trees. Yes, I do. Okay, I think that's going to look good like that. So let's start. We may change our base here, our card base. That on there. Now I am doing this a little bit differently to the way I normally do, because normally I would, because I'm going to pop him up on dimensionals, normally I'd put him down first and then pop everything in underneath, but because everything is so big, I didn't want to do that. So who's got some of these in their stash and need to use them? I hope. So Nicole, you got warming up again after 4 cooler days, so you've managed to get some sleep. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, with the cooler days, I've got a lot of, my husband's Croatian. And I mean, he was born here in Australia, but he loves his Croatian food. And so I've got some cooking to do. So each Christmas, I try to make him some walnut rolls. And now I need a sentiment to go in here or something to go in there. But it's got a lot of yeast and things in it. So you sort of got to prep it and then let it rise. So I need to have the oven on the majority of the day. So now that couldn't be too bad. Let's have a look, see what else. So it makes the house very hot in making it. So just popping that there for a sec. Yeah, so I've got that to do over the next couple of days. Now I'm just having a look to see if there is another sentiment. Of course, we've still got Holly Jolly, which we could use. We could use Ho Ho Ho. Not all these sentiments are things that we would say here in Australia, but I like that because that's granny apple green, but it just might be that little bit too much. Actually, I think I like that. Just stands out a little bit more. Okay. So I need a mini dimensional for this one. Again, I've just popped one on one end because I'm just thinking I want it to go fill up that hole just there, but I've got a difference of depth there to there, so I don't need to put a dimensional on there. So I'm just going to pop that. Now, of course, behind all of this, if you didn't want to, don't get glue on there. If you don't want to use an embossing folder to give you texture, you could also have, well, I could have also have got a sponge or one of my blending brushes and blended some ink. Yeah, I've got a little bit of the granny apple green ink and just behind where I've got all of these pieces. So if you don't have the embossing folders, there are other ways to give your card texture, even with splatter or just going around the edges of your card with some ink. There's lots of ways that you can add texture to your card. And of course, with the new mini catalogue coming out in January, we're going to have another range of ephemera packs too. And there's quite a few different ones that you can use for birthdays or Valentine's Day as well. So really great way if you've never done card making before that you can get in and give it a try. Okay, so there's a very simple little card. Now I've kept this little red ball there. I just wanted to have a quick look because here I was wanting to add something just there, and I'm just thinking should I add that in there just to give it a bit more height, a bit more balance. Just went up and then straight back down, and I just wasn't quite happy with that. I might just turn that around so it's going that way. Because they're still lollies, lolly type things or balls, just like your tree would be decorated in. I'm a bit happy with that. Okay, so let's just decorate the inside of this one. So, okay, what can we pop on the inside here? Now, of course, we've got can even just do one stocking coming out because that's a lot of stockings. What else have I got lying around here that we could use? We've got that little tree, which corresponds with that tree. In here, I put lots of little bits and pieces. So what else have I got in here? Tell you what I do have in here, because there's holly on the Santa sleigh. There's also, just do it very simple and pop a little bit of holly right in that corner there, which I think could be just enough. And again, what we might do is stamp that sentiment. Haven't glued that down yet, but let's just get this nice and straight. That can go there. Now, of course, I've still got lots of this left, but I do know that I still want to do, got some more scrapbooking pages to do, so I'm sure I'm going to get all this used up. And I know I've still got more cards here to make, so okay. So I have managed to get done tonight. I'm just going to move all those to one side, get rid of that for a moment. Didn't use that bow in the end. Let's have a look. So we've made all of these cards tonight. So I've got 4 cards made to go out in the mail tomorrow. So we've got that one. That one, just using the ephemera packs. As I said, the one with all the images has already sold out, but you still got the little bit festive, which has some of these bigger images in it, still available. You still have the sentiments still available, so you've got all these big, lovely gold sentiments that you can use. Add some ribbon to it, but just have fun and create some tags. The tag ephemera pack is still available. Yeah. So I hope that's encouraged you to create a little bit more. I've moved my camera and it looks like I should move it back again. So then you don't see as much as the bottom of the desk. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. It's a bit better. Okay, so I hope that's encouraged you to have a go at making some of these. If you're wanting any of these ephemera packs, I'd be ordering them ASAP in the next day or so, because the cut-off time to guarantee before Christmas, I think, has just passed, but only just. But even if you want these for next year, get in and grab them now. They're discounted in the last chance. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm going to head off into our lounge room with my husband. We've got a TV series we've been enjoying watching, so we're going to go and finish watching the last episode of that. And I will catch up with you after Christmas. Let me just bring me back up. So I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you very much for joining me this year on my lives, both on Friday and on Tuesday nights. Please stay safe. Have a lovely new year. Enjoy spending time with your family over that Christmas and New Year period. And I will see you in the new year when we start up again. I haven't worked out what date it will be, because I am going away for a couple of days in the new year, but it'll probably be around about the second week or third week of January. So I hope to catch up with you all then. Take care and have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Bye for now.